New Braunfels 911, where is your emergency?
Yes, this is Alex with Schlitterbahn Water Park. We have a pretty serious situation.
Before I put the mask on his face, I looked down at his face and I just saw lifelessness. It didn't look like Brody. I knew it was Brody. His eyes were glazed over. His neck was red and purple because he was just trying to get some air. And I just remember looking at him and going, what is this? Like, what is going on right now? I can't fathom this.
I didn't think something like this would happen to him at all.
He was fine the night before. He was just fine that morning.
Brody walks up, normal as any other day.
He looked great that morning. I mean, he was just happy. He seemed like he was normal self.
That's when everything kind of just slowed down, you know. He hit the floor.
She told me she didn't know what had happened. He had fallen. He fell down and he wasn't breathing, and that they were working on him.
He didn't have a pulse, and
I remember yelling out, "What do you mean he's not breathing?"
They decided to shock again, and I remember Mike Veo saying, okay, I'm just gonna shock him again. I just gotta shock him again.
The ambulance was there, and that they had to shock Josh twice with the AED. So I was asked her, please stay, somebody stay with him. Somebody needs to be with him. And then they said we just had to wait.
You know, it's all a big blur, but I do remember everybody just saying, you know, come on, Brody. And, you know, he did, came back.
July 1st, I know I went to work that day. I went to Schlitterbahn, I'm an aquatic supervisor. And I know that I woke up the next day in a hospital.
There were symptoms, but unless you know and are aware of what long QT syndrome is or other arrhythmias, what those signs are, you wouldn't know that he's telling you signs for those things.
Sudden cardiac death is serious. All it takes is understanding. All it takes is a screening.
The first time we heard of a heart screening was after this happened, and I started researching to try to understand what had happened to him. And through that, I had found multiple organizations, one of them being, you know, Living for Zachary, that talked about heart screenings and that these were not things that were found on a regular physical.
It doesn't take much, and it could very well save your life. Had I looked at these symptoms back when I was 18 years old and had the screening, this would have probably never happened. We would have probably taken the appropriate steps to keep it from ever escalating to the point it did.